Welcome everyone to Pod in the Apex. Aniket and I are back for the review of the Italian Grand Prix. It was a mixed race, I would say. We had a frantic opening section, the first 5 to 10 laps, places jostling for each other, drivers jostling for places, lockups, multiple lockups, overtakes, and then we finished the race with the same top 5 as qualifying. So, but yeah, I think we did get a lot of overtakes. I think Aniket, both of us were worried that we might not see as many overtakes because of the cars, the ground effect, the regulations, the tires. But also, I must say, Aniket, it's a bit of a disaster when at Monza just one pit stop is enough. Why didn't Pirelli bring out the C6s?
Yeah, and I know, right? Like softer compound could have done little wonders here in terms of mixing up the strategy. So little bit of a head scratcher because they did that for some of the previous few
Mm.
races, and it was surprising that they didn't take a chance here in Monza with that. So with the what do you say, the track being resurfaced as well. So a little bit disappointing there because one stop was always on the cars. Nobody was going to do a two stop after what we saw last year,
Yeah,
and but we had, as you said, good few opening laps, a bit of a lull in the middle of the race, and
I think pretty much a lull after that.
yeah, pretty much a lull after that. So we were just kind of just because the race ended before like it started. Actually, it ended in like the fastest race ever,
Yeah, yeah.
1
Max
hour
Verstappen broke
13
a
minutes. Yeah,
22-year-old record, which
yeah,
Michael Schumacher set at the 2003 Italian Grand Prix.
yeah,
And yeah, that's a race winner, Max Verstappen. But we'll get to that in a second. And before we even get to the big discussion point, Aniket, of McLaren, quickly wanted to touch upon qualifying. Man, did you see that end to Q3? Holy,
yeah. Where did that Verstappen pole come from? Right? We thought
yeah,
Lando had it in the bag, and but here comes Max Verstappen
yeah,
grabbing that pole position like he kind of I mean, like the champ he is, right?
yeah.
So the respect he deserves is, ultimately deserved. You may
And
need to
what
give
what about Charles showing us hope by provisional pole and then falling off?
the Tifosi needed some hope because Ferrari has
we,
not been doing
we had
too
for
well this
five
season,
minutes. 5 minutes we had
and
hope.
they had hope for some time, but that hope was obviously not going to last long with McLaren and Verstappen coming through.
Hmm.
So I think this was one of the better qualifying this season. We had a lot of drivers in contention for pole,
Yeah.
the Ferraris, the Mercedes, Verstappen, and the McLarens as well. So ultimately, it went down to Max, and yeah, we'll get to him in terms of his race performance because he pulled off the important overtake after having to give up the place, and
Yeah.
he just controlled the race throughout.
And yeah, he won by 20 seconds. But yeah, like I said, we'll come back to Max. I want to ask you about the big controversy of the race, Aniket. McLaren. So
Yeah,
to quickly recap for our viewers before we get into it. So this was for the first round of pit stops, and obviously McLaren went very long on those medium compound tires. Again, just a joke that those medium tires lasted 40 odd laps for them. But nevertheless, so McLaren, once they were confident that they can pit in pretty much the middle of nowhere, they will maintain the position. There was a healthy 4 to 5 second gap between Lando and Oscar. And the first thing was McLaren. Obviously, Lando was ahead, so they should have given Lando pit stop priority. But they asked Lando, "Hey, Lando, Charles just pit. He's kind of gaining ground on Oscar, and Oscar's tires were going off a cliff. Is it okay if we pit Oscar before?" So they pit Oscar before, and then Oscar has an amazing pit stop, 1.9 seconds. And
yeah,
then they pit Lando. Lando had a horror of a pit stop. The front left tire, didn't go on properly, so they had to fiddle a bit with that. So he had like a 6 or 7 second pit stop. He comes, he comes out behind Oscar, and then McLaren says, "Hey, Oscar, can you let Lando by? Whatever. I'm not giving my opinions here. I'm just trying to tell you what happened." So McLaren basically tells Oscar, "Hey, we had a team mistake. Can you let Lando by?" Oscar is like, "Hey, we thought pit stops were not covered in this Papaya rules or whatever." But eventually relents. Lando passes, and then it's a Lando P2 and Oscar P3. So Aniket, what do you think about that?
Doesn't the Papaya rule state that if there's a slow pit stop, the teammate who's overtaken the guy who's at a slow pit stop gives the place back? And also, that means if probably Lando loses a front wing next race, Oscar would also have to lose his front wing, so they can so they can be on equal footing. I think that's what it says, right? If you get disadvantage while racing, you still have to give up
Hmm.
the place. So it's crazy to me that Oscar had to do that, but
Hmm.
I think McLaren have been able to maintain peace and harmony in that team so far, and it does seem prevalent after that
Yeah.
issue as well. Unlike certain other teams who have had major issues in handling their drivers. So kudos to them for that perspective. But personally, I don't think Oscar should have given up that position, especially to someone who he's fighting for in the championship. And neither should Lando have allowed the team to give Oscar first preference on pit stops.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think both of that should not have happened. And
Yeah,
I'm
so
waiting to
that
see
I
how
will
this.
agree with you, especially when you have two sides of the garage going for the championship, you have independent strategies and all of that.
Yeah,
Suddenly you remember that the team comes first.
yeah,
Come on, so I think the team comes first thing would make sense if McLaren was fighting for the constructors championship, right? But McLaren had that covered already.
they do.
They can probably win it in Baku or in your home or at a home race 2 weeks later at Singapore, right? So they're pretty much covered. So they can win the constructors title with 6 or 7 races to go. Why does he need to do that, right? I mean, um, like if they're so worried, Oscar would have pit earlier, right? But having said that, the reason I don't blame McLaren for this is, I mean, sure, they said, okay, hey guys, they asked Lando if he wants to, you know, sacrifice pit stop priority because Oscar was being followed by Charles, and so he does that, and then he has that bad pit stop, so the team tries to make it up to him because otherwise, like if Lando had pit first and if Oscar had to pit say a lap or two later, he could have very well overtaken by Charles, right, or been under pressure by Charles, ruined his tires, especially those soft tires. You could have a couple of lockups, and we saw in the first stint what happened with Charles when he locked up his tires, right? So yeah, man, that's what I think. I I see all the memes where they're like, oh, like Oscar loses his front wing or Lando loses his front
Yeah.
wing, or oh, Lando, you crashed, so okay, Oscar, please crash the car. I mean, fine, the memes are funny, man, but I think in this case it was like there's a very clear reason I felt why McLaren did that. Um, and I also don't agree with the comparisons to Hungary last year because at Hungary, the drivers didn't have a choice for some idiotic reason. Um, they pit Lando first, even though Oscar was leading the race or was ahead among the two
Mm,
McLarens. Right? They pit Lando first, and then they let Oscar get undercut by Lando. And then
yeah.
we all know what happened. They were forcing Lando to let Oscar pass and blah blah blah.
Mm,
So Hoya, it was different, right? The I think Oscar. It felt like Oscar did not know that Lando kind of gave up pit stop priority at least during the race because
mm.
at least in the radio we heard he did not. They did not tell him that. But yeah, I honestly don't blame McLaren, man. I don't
Uh,
know.
yeah, man. It's hard to say. Like we can have many opinions on this. I think
Yeah,
it's just McLaren trying to keep it fair from their standards in terms
right.
of not letting team mistakes cause
Mhm.
drivers to lose positions. So in that way, it's fair on them. But there's also a drivers' championship going on, so every point
Yeah.
also counts.
So I agree with you there. I think since the team has pretty much wrapped up the constructors fight at this point, Why are you giving these options to the drivers? Hey, Oscar might be overtaken by Charles. Lando should be like, fine, his mistake.
Yeah,
Like, Aniket, okay, I think we can both agree on this, the point that I'm going to make, right? So the internet kept on saying that if Max was in Oscar's position, he would never give up that place.
yeah,
Sure, I agree. But what people are not saying was if Max or Lewis, which they say would, if Max or Lewis was in Oscar's position, he would not give up. But if Max or Lewis was in Lando's position and the team had wrapped up the constructors title for all practical purposes, I know it's mathematically not certain, but it's pretty much wrapped up. I don't think Max or Lewis would have let Oscar pit first either. They'd be like, hard luck, defend.
exactly. And
Yeah,
Max literally did that in Brazil of 2022 when he had wrapped up the title. Yet he was not giving his place, giving up his place to Sergio Perez because
mm,
Perez was due for P2 in the championship and he had requested to let
yeah,
him
exactly.
through. So neither Max nor Lewis also would be doing that.
Yeah,
So
exactly. People keep saying, oh, if Max was in Oscar shoes, he would not have agreed. But if Max was in Lando shoes, also he would not have agreed.
yeah,
Right? So I think that's where, like, I don't know why McLaren is even, doing this. Your team has wrapped up the title. If you're saying let the two fight, then let the two fight.
yep.
It's that simple, right?
And a pit stop is a racing mistake
Yeah,
or a non-track mistake. So basically, it's part of the World Drivers' Championship.
exactly. So yeah, man. I think McLaren kind of, they keep going back and forth this season, right? They say both let both the drivers fight. Then they have these papaya rules, and then sometimes they're like, "Oh no, we have wrapped up the title, but please, please, please help the other driver. Oh, please, please, please."
It's like a broken relationship. You're trying to save it. They don't try to save it. You're saving it. You don't try to save it. It's something like that.
Yep, yep. Anyways, Aniket, my next question to you is about Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
So, okay, I mean, he won the race, dominant drive, 19
Yeah.
seconds, felt like 2023. But this is a question that I want to ask you. There are 8 races left.
Hmm.
Max Verstappen is 94 points behind Oscar Piastri.
Hmm.
Can the Mad Lad do it?
He's got a chance, right? I wouldn't say it's like the most, I mean, it's not like going to be easy or anything. He has to win
Of
all the
course.
races from here
And
and
he
hope
needs some luck as
he
well.
needs some luck with the McLaren, probably going out every other
DNF.
race, DNF, taking each other out, getting out because of other drivers or something like that. But I would also not rule this out as a one-off. Also not rule this out as a one-off. This could be just a one-off where this track really suited Red Bull. I mean, for all reasons and purposes, Red Bull could have been a monster here, and they probably a dud again on the next tracks.
Sure.
The reason why McLaren didn't play out the reason why Monza didn't play out to McLaren's advantage and more towards Red Bull was Monza has very less corners. McLaren is very good in cornering.
Mm-hmm.
Monza had like a fresh track, fresh surface, and they also had the tires, probably the hardest compounds of tires which were
Mm-hmm.
there. And so McLaren is really good on its tires, and that makes them that helps them with the advantage over other teams, right? And in
Yeah.
this race, the other team does not need that tire, or the McLaren did not have the
Yeah.
tire advantage because it suited the other teams
Yeah.
as
The
well.
track basically nullified that advantage.
Exactly. And Red Bull is, as we saw in Japan, and Monza is kind of, a very similar fast paced track, right? Red Bull has always been good in these kind of circuits,
We
and
also
Max
saw at
Verstappen
Imola where
especially.
Max won. Silverstone, I think he did pretty decent. I'm not remember, but yeah.
Silverstone, he was doing decent, except for, I mean, when he had the spin and whole thing.
Right.
So then he went down a few places.
Yeah, yeah.
But you understand why Red Bull are good on these tracks because less tire degradation, the
Mm.
fact that there are not too many corners where McLaren is extremely superior to other teams. And Max is, when you give Max a couple of chances, he's gonna take it.
Yeah.
So he's not out of the reckoning for sure. He's there with the shot, but
Yeah.
it's a long shot. It's gonna be a race by race thing,
Yeah,
and it's
it's
gonna
definitely a
be
long shot. I think
yeah.
it's still 99, probably 99% certain that one of the McLarens will win the championship. But I think it's just a fact for me that Max maybe smells blood here, right? And to be fair, Aniket, if this was any other driver, we would not be talking this way. But
Yeah, it's just the confidence that he's exuding right now, right?
yeah,
He's been on a good streak since Laurent Mekies has come in and
mm,
taken ownership. The car looks to be tuned towards him, and I mean, the team looks like they're listening to him after, all these
yeah,
times are not listening to him. So, again, it's going to be a race by race case. We'll see how they do in Baku now. I think Max has generally been strong there as well.
yeah,
So,
totally. Yeah, I think if we just man, yeah, no, the reason I'm saying this is because Lando had a DNF at Zandvoort, so McLaren may be a little scared after that, and we just see one more mistake from them, or say one more engine-related DNF, and Max, say Baku for example, if Max wins the race and say Oscar or Lando DNF, or they collide into each other, trying to jostle for position, and then suddenly McLaren will be very scared. I think, yeah, like you said, just the fact that Max, he just has that reputation. He will take a half chance and make it into a full chance, right? To quote a footballing analogy here. So
yep.
yeah, it's going to be an interesting end to the season. Nobody saw this coming. We all thought, oh, it's McLaren.
If it comes down to like 60 points by 6 races left, then we are
Yeah,
back on.
yeah,
We're back on
exactly.
100%.
It's just crazy, right? Not just us. I've seen so many F1 content creators over the last few days basically saying this. Does Max have a chance? Like, come
Yeah,
on, dude is 100 points behind, but you literally have the entire internet talking if Max has a chance, where, the two McLarens are at the front. Like, if you exclude the last race, they had what, 6 or 7 consecutive 1-2s, right?
they did. They did.
Yeah, and yet
Yeah.
one Max victory, and everybody said, does Max have a chance?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Baku is next, and of course, your race is next, Aniket.
I'm gonna be watching from the trees somewhere, unless I get a ticket last minute in Singapore. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh boy. But yeah, I think moving on to our depression team, Ferrari, kind of a meh race for them, right? Not bad, but also not good. P4 and P6. I think feels like the Mercedes of last year. The same 4 and 6 or 5 and 6 every race. Safe
it's
results.
come down to that
Yeah. Charles did
again.
show a bit of zing at the starting, and then eventually he locked up his tires so much defending that he kind of, what, 3 lockups I think he had.
He did. He
And
did have a lot of lockups initially.
yeah, so that basically ruined his tires, ruined his race. And then yeah, I mean, he also had a George Russell in that Ferrari sandwich. uh,
He's always bound to be there.
he'll be there. Your P4,
He'll be there.
P5, two drivers retire, he's in P3.
I
But
think they had a meh showing, but like it wasn't as bad as the other races, especially after last race's DNF. So
right,
they at least had something to show for it. Again, it's not where they want to be, obviously.
right,
Lewis started P10 and finished P6, so you got to give him a little credit.
yeah.
And well, this first race with the Tifosi, I'm sure he enjoyed racing in front of the Tifosi in
Mm-hmm.
red. And Charles was, he had a chance for a podium, I would think, late stages, but the McLaren was with fresher tires, they're
Right.
controlling the race pace.
Mhm.
He did get a great start to the race, Charles. I think he overtook Oscar
Yeah.
into turn one. He got into P3, but then
And he was
Oscar took
fighting
him right
Lando as
back.
well.
Yes, he was fighting Lando. They were three abreast going into uh, the Lesmos,
Yeah.
and then Oscar got him back on the outside. So, and then Charles actually
No,
was
no.
trying
Charles
to.
kept his position, but
Charles
he,
kept
he
his
was
position.
defending for a 3-4
Yeah,
laps and he locked up and then basically ruined his tires and lost
I think
pace.
Charles got in front of Lando as well, right?
Briefly, very briefly,
briefly. Yeah,
yes.
and then Lando got back in front of him.
Yeah, Lando kept that. He had a better exit over there. But
Hmm.
yeah, he did get ahead of Oscar. So the crowd was cheering him on, hoping to see a Ferrari podium. But then
Yeah,
Oscar was snapping at his neck, and like you said, Charles just locked up a few times, and that basically ruined his
yeah.
tires. And he never basically recovered from that, right? So I think, do you remember at one point it felt like George Russell would overtake Leclerc?
It was close. Yeah,
Russell
George
was
was
in his, I
pretty
think,
close.
DRS as well, but I don't know what
DRS window
happened.
for a long time. Yeah,
But
but the
then
Ferrari had
Russell,
superior straight line speed,
right?
and he could still,
Yeah, that
keep
Ferrari was
his
fast, man.
position.
Like we saw
It
in
was. It was.
FP1, they were fastest, which gave a lot of hope to everyone. And then in qualifying, also they were pretty fast. They were regularly topping the charts
Yep.
provisionally. So, Aniket, do you think Ferrari can win a race at all this season, or it's over?
I think Singapore could be a good chance for them. I think
Hmm.
McLaren might struggle a little bit in Singapore. Singapore might be an option. Carlos won there what last year or 2 years back? I
2 years
think
ago, yeah,
2 years back.
the only non-Red Bull victory that
Yes,
year, right?
yes. Charles has always done well at Baku, so
Yes.
I'm sure he'll be there. With the shout there. I think Brazil could be an opportunity for them,
Mm. Yeah.
but apart from that, it's very few races, and it's getting scary that Lewis might go without a podium the entire season
Oh man, yeah, he doesn't
in
look
a
good at
race.
all, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's getting better in the last few races,
Yes,
Netherlands and
definitely,
Monza.
but I think at least this race he was kind of keeping up with Charles, right? I
He
think
was.
he, like, even in the practice session, I think was faster than a few practice
Yes.
sessions. He was competing. It's not like a given that Charles would be ahead.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see, was he like Q? I think qualifying. Yeah, he was pretty close all throughout,
He
right?
was. He was.
Yeah, like
Yes.
within a tenth or around a tenth every
Yes.
qualifying session. So
Hmm.
yeah, maybe we'll see a Interlago special from Lewis.
Yeah, and hopefully the car is with him on that day.
Yeah. So yeah,
He's an
we'll.
honorary Brazilian citizen, so yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we will see how that goes. But yeah, but also some interesting rookie results, Aniket. Right? What's that? Three rookies in the points. We
Yep.
had Kimi Antonelli at sorry, I'm
Home
pulling up
hero Kimi Antonelli, our
home here.
homeboy.
Yeah, so we had Bortoleto P8, Kimi Antonelli P9, and Hajar P10. And Behrman was P12. The poor guy keeps just missing one of the points all the time. But yeah, and yeah, the other two were like Lawson was P14 and Colapinto got lapped. But yeah, and the other rookie Alonso didn't even finish.
Yep.
But
He didn't. Broken suspension.
but yeah, I think a good race for the rookies. So Kimi Anthony
I,
finally is he at least
I,
on
w-
the way to coming back?
he didn't have a very good race, so we're not sure yet. But he did have a good quali session.
Yes.
So I think the home race definitely spurred him on. So we'll see if he
Mm.
can keep this. He's not got a contract for next season so far yet, so we don't know what's happening with that. And neither has George Russell been signed yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell Mercedes are doing. So they better lock these guys up soon. Or
Is Toto still trying for Max?
Maxey. So, but the rookies are getting even more confident as we head towards the final few races of the season, right? They have,
Yeah, yeah.
especially Haja, Bortoleto. These two guys have stood out. We knew about Behrman from last season, but
Right.
Haja and Bortoleto have been the standout rookies in the past few races.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Like, man, like what is this? Hajar is ninth in the championship, dude.
Yeah.
And Botador had a slow start, but otherwise he would be pretty high up as well. He's getting good points every race. So
Yes.
yeah, it's I think it's good to see the rookies doing well. I think we're all kind of expecting on the six rookies to just, I don't know, kind of crash out or cause red flags, but we really haven't seen that. It's been pretty clean driving. Unless there is rain, then yeah, we see the rookies make some mistakes. But otherwise, it's been very good driving from them, clean driving, you know, not like crashing each other out. Except maybe Liam Lawson. I think he seems to be becoming the new Lance Stroll. Man, dude, that dude needs some mirrors, man. But yeah, I think good. Otherwise, a good race for the rookies. And yeah, I think that should be a wrap on Monza. Um, should we let's do our predictions review on it.
Yep,
And
let's do it.
yeah, you're killing me, man. You're killing me.
If you guys think I'm killing Pratyush, hit the subscribe button and like this video so far if you've come, because this is the
Yeah.
most exciting part of the show.
Oh boy, you're really killing me. So first up, pole position, right? So yeah, let's get started with our predictions review for Monza. First up was pole position. I predicted Lando Norris, and Aniket, you predicted Max Verstappen. So well, congratulations. You get that point. And then next is P3. You predicted Charles Leclerc. I predicted Max Verstappen. So that's a zero for both. And then P2, I predicted Lando Norris. You predicted Roscoe Piastri. Thank you, McLaren. You got me a point. And then for P1, um, you predicted Lando Norris. I predicted Charles Leclerc. That was a delusion one. We
Mm.
both got nothing here.
Hmm.
Well, so far 1-1. Not bad. But it's going to get worse. Rookie of the race. I said Isaac Hadjar. You said Kimi Antonelli. I think we should share this, right?
We should share this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because even though Kimi Antonelli was a place ahead, I think Hadjar with his drive from what
yeah,
P20 or P19 to come to P10 definitely deserves.
solid effort.
Yeah, absolutely. And then bust of the race. So you said Lance Stroll, he was last. It's hard to argue against that. So I said Kick Sauber. Well,
Especially when you said kick Sauber.
I mean, yes, Hulkenberg did not start the race, but Bortoleto was in the points. So yeah, I think I
I
think
think this race was so damn clean, right? We had no safety cars, barely any yellow flags.
yeah, man. Alonso robbed us of a safety car. Like, dude,
Yeah.
your car stopped. Just park it there. Why are you going back to the pits? And then hot take. Yeah, both of us lost out here. I said Franco Colapinto will be in the points. Nowhere close. He was second last. And you said Ferrari wins the race. Ah, thanks. And then biggest surprise. Well, I think even here both of us did bad. Uh, you said Isaac Hadjar will be out of the points. He barely got in.
Yeah.
And I said Lewis Hamilton will be on the podium.
No,
He
I
didn't.
mean, if you had started P5, probably had a chance, but yeah, not happening
Yeah,
with the 5 days grid drop.
exactly. So actually a pretty close one. So I got 1.5, you got 2.5. Not bad, I'm improving. Compared to the previous two prediction reviews you did.
Yep.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it. I'll take it. I think first one was 4-2 and 4-2. I'm not tallying them again. We'll do a end of season review as well for just predictions. But yeah, not bad. I'm getting better at this, or maybe you're getting
Definitely
worse at this.
perfect.
So yeah, that's about it from us for today. And oh yeah, forgot to mention one thing. Yesterday, I went on another F1 podcast as a guest. I went on the podcast called DaPod. So I will put the video link in the description. So definitely check them out. Throw them a subscribe. And we'll grow the community. Only thing is that podcast is in a mix of English and Telugu. So yeah, probably a bit geo restricted, but yeah, still a lot of English content for you to enjoy. But yeah, uh, that's about it from us today. Aniket, we should see them back for Baku predictions and a preview.
Yes. We're not gonna have a race this week, so the week after this.
Yes. And not a sprint, right? As far as I
I don't
remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah, it's a standard race. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, we will see you again in a few days and we'll preview the Baku City circuit for you. And hopefully
Yep.
this time I have better luck with predictions.
Yep.
All right. Until next time, folks. Yeah, make sure to like the video and do all your YouTube things. Subscribe to us, but definitely leave a comment on what you would like to see on the channel. We do have other exciting content planned for you. Maybe stay tuned for maybe some of the shorts on this channel. But yeah, as always, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.